Crack, crack, crack. Do you know what these sounds are? Are they the sound of a whip cracking or someone breaking a very important code? These are the sounds of men breaking one of the most secure codes of all time. A code which was believed to be impossible to break. The code of the century. It all began during the Second World War. But before we dive into the story, let's take a moment to explore the life of the man behind it all, Alan Turing. You see, when everyone thought the Germans were untouchable, he assembled a secret team of code breakers. They worked day and night to break the toughest enemy code. It was a race against time. The lives of countless people hung in the balance, and the fate of the entire world was uncertain. But here's the thing, no one knew about this. While the rest of the world grappled with the horrors of the war, these brave individuals toiled in secrecy, deciphering messages that could mean the difference between victory and defeat. Imagine the pressure. Now picture yourself in a dimly lit room filled with stacks of papers and mechanical whirring machines. In front of you sits an Enigma machine, a device so complex it seems almost magical. Its keys are worn from countless uses and its wires are tangled in a way that seems to mock your efforts. You've been tasked with breaking this machine. But how? Each keystroke is a challenge, each letter a puzzle piece that fits into a larger mystery. Time ticks by, the stakes grow higher, and suddenly you hear the click of a solved cipher. Adrenaline rushes through you as you realize you've just cracked the code. This is the moment of truth. You've deciphered the secrets hidden within. That's exactly what happened at Bletchley Park in England. Here, a team of secret code breakers worked tirelessly to solve the German Enigma code. But who was leading this mission? Step forward Alan Turing, a name synonymous with genius. He was the mastermind behind it all, the leader of the team that took on the seemingly impossible task of breaking the Enigma code. So what made Enigma so special? Why was it considered the world's most advanced encryption machine? Well, it was like nothing the world had ever seen before. It was incredibly complicated, capable of producing millions of different ciphers every second. Basically, if you wanted to send a message that couldn't be intercepted, you used Enigma. The Germans, along with other countries like Britain and the US, heavily relied on this machine for military operations. They believed their communications were secure, hidden behind a wall of cryptic letters and numbers. But little did they know a storm was brewing at Bletchley Park. There, deep in the heart of England, Alan Turing and his team were on a mission to shatter the wall. What made Enigma so tough? You see, the Enigma machine was like a secret language. Each letter you typed was jumbled up according to a set of rules known only to the sender and receiver. For example, if you type the letter A, it might come out as Z. If you type the letter B, it might come out as Y, and so on. This scrambling of letters made it nearly impossible to figure out the original message. But Turing and his team weren't daunted. They were determined to crack the code. Now let's meet the star of the show, the bomb machine. What was it and why was it such a game changer? Well, the bomb machine was like a giant calculator on steroids. It was designed to test thousands of Enigma settings in seconds, basically guessing the secret code that scrambled the messages. Before Turing, code breakers had to do this manually, which took forever. But with the bomb, they could test hundreds of possibilities in less time than it took for the tea kettle to boil. You might be wondering how Turing came up with this brilliant idea. Well, it all started with a pile of seemingly random letters and numbers, a captured German message. Like any good detective, Turing pored over every detail, looking for patterns and connections. And then it hit him. The letters weren't random. They followed a set of rules, a cipher. With this realization, Turing began to unravel the mysteries of Enigma. He identified the machine's weaknesses and designed the bomb to exploit them. It was a stroke of genius. In a matter of months, Turing and his team had built several bomb machines. Each one was a marvel of engineering, a complex web of gears, lights, and electrical circuits. Soon enough, the first bomb machine was up and running. The room buzzed with excitement as its gears whirred and clicked, testing code after code at lightning speed. There were a lot of failed attempts before they finally got it right, but when they did, it was a moment of pure elation. The encrypted message was cracked. The impact was immediate. Allied forces gained valuable intelligence, turning the tide of the war. The Germans were caught off guard, their secret weapon turned against them. Within weeks, the number of Enigma machines in use dropped drastically. But the story doesn't end there. The impact of cracking the Enigma code rippled through the decades, shaping the world in ways we still don't fully understand. You see, before the Second World War, codes were mostly a military affair. But after the war, everything changed. Governments and corporations alike realized the importance of keeping their communications secure. The race was on to develop new encryption methods and secure networks. Companies like IBM jumped into the fray, pouring millions into research and development. Suddenly, coding wasn't just a military necessity. It was a business priority. And where did all this money go? Well, some of it went into creating new encryption machines, advanced devices that could scramble messages beyond enemy eyes. Others invested in developing secure networks, a tangle of wires and relays that could transmit information without fear of interception. But perhaps the most important investment of all was in the people. Coding became a coveted profession, attracting some of the brightest minds around the world. Universities set up dedicated departments and training programs sprung up everywhere. It was a whole new industry built on secrecy and security. And here's the kicker. All this happened because of Turing. By showing the world the power and importance of coding, he opened the door to a whole new world of possibilities. But hold on, we're not done yet. The story takes another turn when the war ended and the bombs stopped falling. There was a collective sigh of relief around the world. People emerged from their bomb shelters, blinking in the sunlight. It felt like a new beginning. But in the halls of Bletchley Park, the mood was somber. The work that had once seemed so vital now had no clear purpose. Many of the staff, including Alan Turing, were out of work. It was a time of great uncertainty, a moment when the world was trying to pick up the pieces and move forward. In the aftermath of the war, there was a general sense of euphoria. The fighting was over. The Allies had won. People were eager to put the horrors of the past behind them and embrace a new era of peace and prosperity. But not everyone shared this optimism. In the quiet halls of Bletchley Park, the reality of the situation was sinking in. The work they'd done, the sacrifices they'd made, it all seemed like it might be forgotten. The code-breaking mission was classified. Most of the staff were sworn to secrecy, unable to talk about their experiences or the impact they'd had on the war. It was a heavy burden to carry. The world celebrated the end of the war, but those at Bletchley Park were left in limbo. They knew the truth. They'd played a vital role in winning the war, but no one else did. Despite the challenges, the staff of Bletchley Park pressed on. Many went on to other careers, taking the skills they'd honed during the war into new fields. Others simply walked away, trying to put the experience behind them. But their work didn't go unrecognized. Over the years, the truth about Bletchley Park and the Enigma code was revealed. The staff were finally given the credit they deserved. Their contributions to the war effort were celebrated, and their legacy lived on. These ordinary people had done something extraordinary. They'd cracked the most advanced encryption technology of their time. It was a feat that seemed almost impossible, but they'd done it. Can you imagine a world without computers or the internet? Without Turing and his fellow code breakers? That might have been our reality. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this episode, hit subscribe for more.